Good day. Hi, my name is Carl. I'm going to be helping today with one of the questions that came in for St. Mary's. This particular one, a gentleman had said that with COVID going on, his mind kept going to the awful horrors that Jesus mentions in Scripture. And I have to admit, I have engaged with this topic more than once already. This is something that has come up. It's a thing that people are thinking about. So why don't we just have a quick look at what Jesus did say in the Gospels? There's a few things that he has warned about, signs that can be looked to, that we can anticipate his coming by looking at. Those signs particularly that he says in as many words is the coming of false Christs, so people that are going to come in his name, say they are him, and false prophets that are along similar lines. But he warns us to stand firm against their teachings. He also says that there are wars that will break out, rumors of wars that will spread, a general increase in lawlessness. He mentions famines and earthquakes, and just generally that it's not going to be a fun time to be alive, a particularly bad time. He specifically mentions that he is sorry for the person that is pregnant or with infant at this time, as it's going to be a time of running and persecution, and particularly to be a Christ follower, that is not going to be fun. In all of that, he doesn't specifically go after pestilence, disease, plague, and those are the imageries that we typically getting from Old Testament prophecies, and like John's Revelation really nails that one in. So while it's not specifically in there, it is in Scripture, and I think it is safe for us to associate it with what is being spoken about in the Gospels, those signs that we can look to. But it's just an interesting note that it's not specifically there. But there are three important points that are in the rest of Jesus' warning about the end times, and particularly his second coming. The one is, we're just not going to know exactly when it is that he comes. Specifically, he says that no one, not in heaven, knows the exact day that Jesus is coming again. A very strict hierarchy that only God himself knows the exact date ahead of time. So we can't anticipate with that amount of certainty. Another thing that he says in there is we will know when it is Jesus that has come. So we might not be able to know in advance, but when he comes, we will know. It's not going to be a matter of debate or consideration or something that scratches at the back of your mind. It is going to be obvious, like plainly and clearly obvious that this is Jesus that has come again. The imagery they use in the Gospels is that of lightning. It's powerful and overwhelming, and you know it is what it is. The third thing is said right in between these two things, and it's the lesson from the fig tree. And the lesson there is that when the fig tree's stems and branches become supple, when the leaves begin to shoot, you know that is summer coming. And what is being said over here is, while on one hand we can't know in advance that Jesus is coming, when exactly he is coming, while the point that we get to know exactly when he's here is when he is here, so there's no anticipating, it still puts importance on looking at the world around us and noticing when the season is changing. So we can anticipate Jesus' coming, and that's our lesson from the fig tree. But how do we reconcile all of this? The fact that we can't tell when he is coming, but we must still look for the signs, and that when he arrives, it's going to be a big deal. And I think this comes down to the fact that we are living in the end times. COVID is not the first famine or plague that we have experienced in the world. In fact, a lot of your ancient plagues are much more significant. I think what that means is that treat it like you're in the last days. We don't know. Jesus is going to come like a thief in the night, and we can't change our actions later because we won't be able to guess exactly when to ramp up our strategy. Live today as if Jesus is coming tomorrow, so that we can be salt and light and that people might know his name today.